Hello and welcome to the World News. To give you today's top stories around the globe, I'm Randolf Jamias. To start the news, Japanese government officials are bringing people together to talk about the country's biggest challenge. They're holding a conference next month on the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear accident. The International Atomic Agency is co-hosting the event. Here's more.
Ministers and experts from more than 30 countries will gather on December 15 in Fukushima Prefecture. They'll spend 3 days discussing how to apply the lessons learned from the accident. Japanese government officials say they'll emphasize the importance of accuracy and transparency in the sharing of information. They also say they're going to stress the need to establish better ways to protect residents who live near nuclear plants from radiation leaks. Japan is expected to ask for international help to improve technologies for cleaning up radioactive substances and dismantling nuclear reactors.
Moving on, foreign investments are looking to Myanmar for new investment opportunities. One Thailand-based construction firm is betting big on this neighbor, pouring billions into a seaport and industrial estate project. Let's have the details.
A remote rural area, but perhaps not for long. This fertile stretch of land in southern Myanmar is set to be transformed into a massive infrastructure project. A deep sea port stretching 250 kilometers, located in Dawai, will become the gateway to Indochina and potentially Southeast Asia's largest industrial complex. Italian Thai Development, the engineering giant and the mastermind behind this $8.5 billion project, plans for the area to include a steel mill, an oil refinery, and a fertilizer plant. For the economy of Myanmar, this project might just be what this country needs to attract more foreign investors.
You see that our place constitutes as special economic zone, the thing that never happened before. So all these barriers would be removed towards conductive of investment.
Located on the Andaman Sea, Italian Thai Development believes that this strategic location will serve as a gateway of Indochina to the Indian Ocean and connect to vast transportation networks from China and the sub-Mekong region to India, Africa, Middle East and Europe. The current plan can mean more than 30,000 people will need to be relocated. Many of the local residents are unhappy with the compensation they have been offered for their fertile land. Their reluctance to move is growing. Myanmar is rapidly opening after 60 years of isolation. Changes in the country have sparked investor hopes that this could be the world's last great untapped frontier nation. Susita Chumsi, CCTV, Bangkok.
In other news, the salt mine in Nemacon, Colombia, was one of the first in Latin America. It was founded around 1665 to extract salt, then one of Colombia's key exports. It's now a popular museum where visitors can climb down the 80-meter deep mine shaft and explore how the miners lived. Many guests in the museum find unusual art creations made of salt, like the heart-shaped salt crystal. Meanwhile, approximately 500 couples tied the knot in a mass wedding in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, this past weekend. The couple say this way of getting married saved them the cost of a flashy wedding ceremony. Let's head to the ceremony for more of the story.
Pomp and color marked this wedding ceremony as brides and grooms stepped out in colorful traditional attires. They arrive in Addis from every corner of the country. This mass wedding was the first of its kind in Ethiopia, a day that will not fade quickly in Salamoid Adana's mind.
This is a unique day for me, very special and lovely. I am so over the moon that I'm here today with all these people.
This mass wedding ceremony was organized to help promote the culture of the country and its rich traditions. Moreover, the organizers believe there is a lesson all Ethiopians might learn from such a ceremony.
In relation to wedding ceremonies, people spend a lot of money even beyond their capacities in the country. Because of this, we have seen many get into conflicts, divorced, and so on. So to help educate the public, we have designed all of this. And this all are examples of that.
Many of the couples may have chose to spend money to do a private wedding, but they say this is more interesting due to the large number of couples marrying on the same day. Furthermore, the couples did not spend a single dime to be part of the occasion. Instead, they were asked to open bank accounts and save the money they were planning to invest in their respective nuptial parties.
This day, a day that deserves a special attention to. Such colorful events are rare wherever you go in the world. It's also so special for Ethiopia, as there are brides and grooms from every nation and nationality of the country. We're building families like building a nation.
The organizers of the event also came up with this 7-meter in diameter braid to try and get into the Guinness Book of Records. That is, if the mass wedding itself did not get the prerequisite numbers to make it to the history books.
Here's new on technology news. Everyone's heard of black boxes, those flight data recorders that are so useful to plane crash investigators. The device has now been adopted for use in cars by a company in South Korea. They record video images of whatever occurs in front of the car while it is driving. South Koreans have been snapping them up, and makers of the device say interest has surged worldwide. Black boxes are set to become mandatory for commercial vehicles in the coming years in several countries. Let's find out more of this report.
Ignoring the rules of the road like this can lead to fatal accidents. Unfortunately, there will always be a few reckless drivers. Hit-and-run accidents used to be common in South Korea. Those at fault would often try to flee the scene of a collision. Nowadays, it's much more difficult for dangerous drivers to evade detection, thanks to black box data recorders. Hwang Young-hoon drives a car equipped with one of the devices. Recently, he witnessed an accident between a car and a motorcycle. His black box recorded the entire scene. The devices have become key tools in the investigation of car accidents.
Black boxes provide objective information that helps us investigate traffic accidents, including minor collisions. As the devices record video, they can also be used to document other crimes, providing evidence that helps catch criminals. Black box data can be useful in a number of ways, but its most important application is in documenting traffic accidents.
At this store in Seoul, the number of customers getting black boxes installed in their vehicles is increasing, probably because the devices have received so much media attention. In Japan, taxi drivers are required by law to install black boxes in their vehicles. They're also using Korean-made devices. From 2013, commercial vehicles like buses and taxis will have to be fitted with both black boxes and digital tachographs, which record the vehicle's speed. Black box data recorders are becoming more and more common in vehicles. Many drivers now see them as standard equipment, and they're becoming mandatory in many countries. The small but smart devices have the potential to revolutionize road traffic safety.
Let's head to the U.S. Many retailers stayed open Thursday during the Thanksgiving celebrations, evidence that even this cherished American family holiday is falling prey to the forces of commerce. 10 years ago, it would have been impossible to find a single store open on New York's big shopping arteries such as Broadway. But on Thursday, where Broadway traverses Soho, nearly all the stores were open, as they have been for the past few years. Most Americans still tend to celebrate the holiday at home with their families, waiting until the day after so-called Black Friday to storm the stores in search of Christmas bargains. Discount chains Target and Walmart plan to open at 8 p.m. after the dinner hour to get an early start on Black Friday, one of the biggest shopping days of the year. In sports, Dutch Prince Willem-Alexander and his wife Maxima joined Dutch football international Clarence Seedorf in Rio on Thursday to launch a new sport. They took part in a demonstration match of Pana Knockout, a sort of street football played in teams of 2 to 4 in 3-minute bursts to a hip-hop soundtrack. Organizers hope to hold the World Cup during the Football World Cup in 2014. Seedorf said the game is to pass the ball within the legs of the player and score a point. They've created a pitch there, playing 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, but generally it's 1-on-1. It's really fun and pure of technique. We have more news to come. Please stay with us.